Hello and welcome. This is my YouTube channel. I am Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching Star Wars Saturdays, which is my ongoing uh, anthology styled campaign of TTRPGs where each month, or sometimes for a string of months, I will choose a different tabletop role playing game, reskin, hack, remix, or just slam it into some part of Star Wars so that members of the open hearth community we can all gather together, make characters, revisit NPCs or old PCs, and play them. Make a story together each month, and we are currently playing Bounty of the Week, which is one of the oldest for Star Wars Saturdays games that I took Monster of the Week and hacked it, and then Will, who's unfortunately unable to join us for this session, our finale of the Bounty of the Week game. Will remixed it and reskinned it and hacked it on his own. David MK also hacked it. Mad J has run it physically, like live at tables instead of just online. It's gone through a bunch of different permutations and iterations. And then Monster of the Week, the grandpappy of this hack, came out with the Codex of Worlds on backer kit crowdfunding, and I saw the team playbook and said, "Oh, this is delightful. Let's bolt it onto our thing." And Will said, "Yeah, let's do that." And that's what we're playing today. We have had quite an interesting time. I think the team playbook, I would say that it is tonally and directionally been a success. It's allowed the group to have a singular nemesis, some resources they can share, a shared purpose, and mostly thanks to Kay for defining them as family members, giving us all touchstones for how the characters interact. I think that's been pretty inarguably pretty great. So I've quite enjoyed that aspect of it. So where are we? And again, I'm only going to allow Keith to introduce himself for this game. So Keith, if you could introduce yourself, and if you want to tell us about your character, you can.
I'm very excited to introduce Stephen, Alan, Greg, and Kay, who will be playing this game with us. I'll tell you all about their characters right now via my character's viewpoint. I don't know what I'd say about Chalks. We haven't had enough of a scene together. But I totally will do that. Allie is the droid that he is playing, who is the devil on my shoulder, whispering anti-meat being sentiments to my character, Tian, who got a Lobot implant to speak binary to droids, thinking this will make me more effective on the field of battle, not realizing that not having any emotion over those connections would totally pervert her feelings for Kin, who is dashing, handsome, devil may care. Oh, Kin. The chiss sweetheart that nobody knew they needed, who is marrying the wrong person, and I'm going to have to stop that somehow, perhaps by disappearing him to the Empire. I've done it before. I'll do it again. Jody, Steven's droid, I don't get. Aren't we going to take down all the meat beings? What's with all these nuances as shades of meaning? Like, Allie's message is clear. Jody has, I don't know, shades of gray opinions. It's very confusing. Just tell me what to do so I know how to do it. Uh, and Chucks, I don't know what your deal is, man. You didn't rat me out to the cartel. You feel like the other shoe waiting to drop? Like we've never really addressed this, and now we're going in to a Hut-centric episode. So actually, was it the Hut cartel or was it a different cartel?
So the Hut Cartel is your nemesis, and maybe I should have used different terminology, but you have made friends with a lieutenant in the Onyx Circle criminal syndicate.
Which one was Chalks in? Was it the
Oh yes, he was part of the Hut Cartel.
okay?
Was part of the
Yes.
Hurt Cartel, yes.
And that's the one that I was a mole inside of then,
Mhm.
and did not get ratted out. So, oh yeah, and I'm a bounty hunter who was in the ISB and got tired of red tape and bureaucracy and tried to go to the other side and got tired of red tape and bureaucracy. So if you want to convince me not to foment a droid revolution, I don't know how much red tape and bureaucracy droids have, but that could maybe be the angel on the other shoulder. Oh, and I'm Keith. I use the he him pronouns.
Hand, heart, and brain. What?
Human hand and brain.
Human hand and brain. Crap!
.com.
Dang it!
Take two. Do it
I
again.
tried to. Human heart and brain.com.
Human hand and
Fuck! I'll write it down. Now I'm
Take
gonna
three.
go to the website.
Go, Rich.
This is the worst. I'm the worst.
Here, I'll give you a visual.
Human hand and brain. Also, Keith Stetson Dud 1.
Don't look at that.
Oh, okay. Redirects. It doesn't matter. Sir, sorry about the. Dang it. I was trying to help and I blew it. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Keith, for that impromptu reminder. Does anyone have any opening of hunt or opening session moves?
I think I do.
Okay.
Yes, ways of this is the way. I roll plus sharp.
Are you still holding to the ways of your people? That's the question we have to answer.
Yes, because I am trying to delay the fomentation that Ali has fomented, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Still trying to bring some peace. That's an 8. Hold 1, and this is provide some help or intel on the hunt. So I hold 1.
Okay. Excellent. Yep. We open up before the visuals start. We have a soundtrack that drops in, and it's some pretty cool laid-back style music. You hear the clinking of glasses, low conversation, and when the visual starts to come in, we see Chalks entering Unmo's tavern. And we see that Tian, I don't care, Timey-wimey, I'm just putting you there. I'm granting a wish right friggin' now. Tian, you're already at Unmo's tavern. And Chalks, you came here because Vomril has arrived, and you see Vomril has come up and he's seated at the bar. Unmo behind the bar is talking with him, and you can see the Rhodian, like his mouth is held a bit nervously. Vomril has the kind of presence that can bother a person. And Chuck, you also see that Tian is here. There's a few dozen people here, mostly spaceport folk, who enjoy this place as an after work type of deal. It's low key. There isn't a live performer, so it hasn't drawn the normal crowds. It seems to be like a chill Tuesday night kind of vibe in this club. Chalks, what do you do?
I think it's like just Chalks is like silhouetted in the doorway, and he's not entirely sure what to do here because he wants to kill Umril. That's what he wants more than anything else in this world. But this isn't exactly the time and place to do it, right? Like out in the open with everyone around.
Hashtag worst idea.
What?
Hashtag worst idea.
Hashtag worst idea. So I think he's looking around the room trying to figure out, and doesn't expect to see Tian here. So yeah, Tian wants to kill Vumriel, the Kafar, top row of the NPC tab.
Chox wants to kill.
Yes. Sorry. What did I
It's
say?
okay. He said Tian wants to kill.
Oh, Tian.
And maybe that's a suggestion.
No.
Who knows?
Let's chat about it. See what happens.
So since Tian was in the cartel as well, or was like ostensibly in the cartel, did you also know Vimril, Tian?
I mean, I would have, right? That
Yeah.
makes sense. Or known of, maybe, like, not like seen around and be like, oh.
I think it gives some good gravitas to what Chox is going through if you have a bit of that backstory.
Yeah.
Like,
And since you guys know each other and have a past, you might know that Vumril killed his sister.
I think I want to say, like, if it works, that like knowing that he was a danger, I avoided him as much as possible to not upset my cover.
For sure.
But I knew who he was. I don't think I'm aware that he's here, because I am hoping that drinking will make my thinking clearer, and I'm off in a corner doing that by myself, trying to sort out all of the information that has overloaded my brain.
So Chox, knowing that he can't just kill Vumril here at Umbo's, like sees Tian in the corner of his eye and makes his way over there, like doesn't break focus on Vumril at the bar, and then sits down next to Tian and just takes her cup and drinks it.
What? I was drinking that.
Get more.
What are how are you? Hello.
I'm gonna kill him.
Kin?
What? Why would I kill Kin?
Yes, sometimes we kill people. It's part of the job description. But you should bring him in alive. We get more credits.
Kin?
What?
Who's a bounty on Kin?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
How lowered is my card at this point? Is there a move that would make sense to throw that out to? I feel like I want to.
What do you want to accomplish?
I'm just wondering.
Are you acting under pressure about whether you're going to, spill too much to Chox?
And you have the bottle it up move?
Yes, indeed.
But I kind of want to fail this, so I'm like, I don't know that I want to use it. I will use a +1 from that, just so that I can check it off the list that it is a move that has been used. Do I need to fill in fire for that, or
no? You're just basically giving me hold, and I will keep track of that.
All right.
Hold.
2.
1.
You can hit me with that later.
I can and shall.
I'd be impressed when you do, because that's the kind of thing as a GM that I'm like, oh yeah, I did have that. Oh, lost connection. Okay.
Darn it, die roller. Stay connected.
Did it come up?
You got what you wanted.
Well,
I didn't lose the
Eyes.
connection. Wow, that's so bad. For those at home, I rolled Snake Eyes. +3 is still a fail.
Mark, an XP.
Oh my god, it's my first failure. Ah,
It is
What
a
a day.
failure. I am so delighted. By
I don't
it.
even know where the XP is on the character keeper.
It's
There we
so-
go.
Yeah, it's down there by the advances. Cool.
So I don't know if you want to do a thing, Rich, or just
Oh, if you want to spill a little bit, that's fine. I've still got to move, but feel free. You fail to bottle it up. You don't act under pressure, and I think you reveal a little bit. So, what do you reveal to Chalks?
I mean, I think also it would be helpful for the viewers at home to give a slight info dump, but in character, so it works. The Empire, they don't want his family getting in bed with the Hutts by his fiance. It's not
And
a
this is the
bounty.
first time Chalks actually takes his eyes off of Voomril is when you say this, right? He's been laser staring at him the whole time. Tiana, are you up to your old tricks?
Think
Siding with the Empire?
sober up a little bit at that. I side with whoever gets things done.
You side with whoever's convenient.
Potato, potato.
I fear I may not be convenient one day.
How are you planning on making yourself inconvenient? And I think at that point, she's like realizing that you were talking about something else.
Yeah.
Traces where you were looking before and realizes who's over there. Huh. The pieces begin to come together.
Umril, as you look over Tihan, he moves around around the bar, and Umo goes with him. And there's a point where Umo lifts up a part of the bar, and Umril walks back, and they head into a room in the back behind the bar.
I'll make you a deal, Tiana.
Go on.
We'll keep it between us. What you've been doing with the Empire. The deal on Kin. If you can get him into the alley alone.
There's a brief second of who can? Oh, no. Okay, we're not. Pronouns are so confusing when you're monomaniacal about someone. Okay.
You get Voomril.
We must use full names at this. Do you think you would really get away with it? He's just one sentient, a node in the network. If you take him out, it will all close on you. Such an obvious, ham-fisted way as a back alley shootout. Are you willing to end your run here for revenge? If so, I won't stop you, but there are more elegant ways. And when the Empire comes to disappear Kin, they'll have room for two in their ship, and no love in their hearts for cartel scum like him.
Fox leans forward. Nobody's disappearing. Kin.
Let's not take it off the table entirely. I'm amenable to other options.
Such as?
Well, you counteroffer me. You've done negotiation before, right, Chalks?
Suppose.
Maybe. Usually I just punch people, but that would be amusing if you just punch me as part of a negotiation.
I'm not sure other people have phrased it as negotiations before.
I think, and if you're hesitating in character, I think I fix you with a bit of an intense stare. Tell me about your attachment to kin, in sort of like a jealous way.
Only kid had hooked up with Tian, so many less troubles would have happened, right?
Different troubles, same amount, different troubles.
Tian, Kin is part of the crew. Kin is part of the clan. We do not turn on members of the clan. I know in your heart of hearts, Tian, you wish no harm on Kin as well. And he looks at the array of cups in front of you. I think it's more complicated for you, Tian.
Sometimes we have to take the second best option. Sometimes our meat feelings get in the way. And I think at that point I will clean.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Just do that because you're looking at the cups. Shatter them to the floor.
Nice. I'm going to cut away from that scene. Allie, where are you on the ship or spaceport Trident Vespa when V26? And I know that we could do everything wirelessly and everything, but V26 wants to speak with you personally.
I think that I'm in a shadowed alley near the fighting pits, looking longingly at the fighting pits.
Nice. So the droid V26, ex-Imperial Seeker droid, hovers near you, AL1N, and they are displaying a little readout, and we can't read it. It's not close enough for us to read it, but obviously Allie can read it, and it's a series of calculations. Everything is in Arbesh. Some nerds are gonna like zoom in on the Blu-ray and like hand key everything, but it's basically a whole battle plan, and then there's a red section in the battle plan that the V26 is offering to you, and it speaks in binary, right? It doesn't speak in basic. So we see the subtitles. The insertion of an Imperial raid on the droid speakeasy increases the chance of our upheaval 4%, bringing the success ratio to 52%.
Leave that to me, my little friend. I know someone who knows someone.
Please be advised that Jody is displeased with the level of losses. The attrition rate is unacceptable in her eyes.
The humans have the meat beings have a saying, which I increasingly think has some sense to it. Without pain, there can be no gain. Together, we will succeed.
What? And this is, of course, the core of V26. You want me to do?
You needn't share this insight with Jodie. I would hate for her to misunderstand.
And I think I would like to see a move to see if you instill enough confidence in V26 to not break and immediately share with Jody this. So please manipulate V26 to this date.
Manipulate or remote control. Reach out
Oh, you
and
bastard! I
show
love
her
it. Oh,
the true path.
it's so mean. I love it. Yes, you may remote control. Please roll plus tech. Oh my gosh.
That is a 10.
Oh. You control the
So on a
object
10
like a
plus
part of yourself.
And gain +1 ongoing for rolls you make with it. Do you understand how important this is, my little friend?
Yes, master. I think we cutscene right there. Yeah. Yeah. Ken, you're back on the station. Do you go back to your domicile to check in on Gannett, and do you bring anyone along with you?
I think let's see. He's definitely the first Sith droid. So he's definitely going to the domicile. I think he's going alone right now.
Okay, fair enough. That makes sense to me. And you,
Checking on Gannett. That's personal business.
what has changed in the main living area? What has Gannett added as a little bit of a personal touch? And how do you feel about it?
I think there's a painted portrait. And it's like classic, almost like that kind of English like Bridgerton-esque painting of like an engagement portrait. And it's Kin and her.
Oh, that's so good.
It's been painted by like an artist, and it's her and Kin. And they didn't they just used like reference photos and things like that because obviously he wasn't there. But it's like the very classic, like he's sitting in a chair and she's like standing beside him. Like, yep, Alan's
hand on shoulder thing.
Hand on shoulder, like the whole shebang. Like, and Kin just looks at it and feels like a roiling of emotion in his stomach.
Nice. And you enter, and did you notify oh, I'm on my way, or I'm back at the
I
spaceport?
think that there was the notification. I've finished with my current employ. I will be back at the domicile. Like, it's very no love loss in these. It's very I'll be back at the domicile around this hour. I will be alone. Like, we can discuss things then. Like,
oh, sweet. Yeah. So when you arrive to the smell of freshly cooked some Chiss delicacy, and Chiss is a homeroll. It's an icy homeroll, so I imagine it's like something similar to cocktail shrimp. Is stuff that can be served on ice, but there's definitely an aroma, and one of the meals it's got just a certain smell that reminds you of, oh, she did her research. This is your favorite meal.
oh, he hasn't had it in years.
Exactly. You haven't had it since you left.
Yeah, he feels like a knot in his throat and, unlaces his boots because you cannot wear these in his home. And clears his throat as he comes in the doorway. I see you've been cooking. I didn't realize that was something within your repertoire.
A girl picks up things from time to time. When you travel and you're away from home, you have to find a way to bring home with you to be the best way. Yeah, take your coat. She'll
Yeah, she
slide in.
takes his coat, and he flinches, I think, when she goes to remove it. And then tries to steady himself. Well, that was thoughtful of you.
Thank you. I hope that you are becoming more used to the idea of our joining.
There is no getting used to. It's just the next action we must partake in. As you said, you are a good daughter, and I am a good son.
I think that we can be allies as well.
And I think he will walk over towards the table. She says that. I already have allies. We can be a unit, but allies is for work, not home.
I'm immensely thankful. And if that's what you need from me, that's what I'll be for you.
This relationship is not based upon my needs, Gannett.
I know. We should eat.
Yes. And he sits down and looks at the food, and and he can feel the hunger, but he's also still kind of mildly in shock, I think is honestly the best way to put it, because he's still processing, there was this, this bad guy, there was Chalks, the whole shebang, the mission.
The food's delicious. She uses a specific kind of spice that is unique to your home world. It can't be found anywhere else. And it's quite delicious.
You brought Sood with you.
Yes, I did. It was not inexpensive, but during the days that we won't speak about, I did squirrel away a few things. What is it, either during the conversation or something that you see that makes you realize she's been into your room, your bedroom?
Yeah, so I think they eat, and Kin excuses himself to change into something more appropriate. And he goes into the room, and he sees that the tuck, Tuck, on the bed sheets are not correct.
They're close though, right? She tried to tuck them.
They're so close, but he knows the difference. You need the Force to fold them correctly.
I fold these with the Force.
to get them so smooth against the ankles on the bed, you need to use you need to do it with the Force.
But yes, you know immediately that she has been in your private sanctum. The one thing you asked her not to do, she did it the moment you left. It feels like. What do you do?
This is not. Real quick, I'm just going to look at moves, because I'm thinking of a move that does not belong to this system, and I'm wondering if there is something similar for this. Okay, no, I was like looking for like a keep your cool kind of move or something like that.
Oh, yeah. There's not. But let's see if there's anything specific to the adept. Let's see. Dark path.
Yeah, that's true.
Force. No. There
No,
it
I was
is.
gonna say what Alan said. That's why I used act under pressure. It was like it's emotional pressure.
Okay, yeah. Why don't we do act under
Oh,
pressure?
hey, there we go.
Go with that. Thank you for the recommendation.
Dun.
All right. What's this character's cool? Where's my bounty hunter? Your cool is 0. Okay.
Hey, you've got 0 cool.
That's 0 cool, and that's a 4, my friend. Hey.
Cool. Mark an XP.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that XP and I level up. Huzzah!
Amazing.
The door definitely flies off its hinges to the bedroom.
Awesome. Sweet. So yeah, you just use the force to like slit. Yeah, you.
It's not even conscious. His like back is to the door, but his hand sort of just grips into a fist, and the door just goes flying off the hinges.
Oh no! Into the room. You hear a gasp from Gannett. Kin, what's wrong?
You were in here.
I was curious. Why would you forbid me from this place? I just had to know what's here. Changed so much since I last saw you.
What did you see?
Her eyes immediately glance over to where you keep the journal. She doesn't say it out loud, but you know.
Did you read it?
There's a chime at the door.
Oh, yeah, and you and I will talk about this. And there's like that, if he was wearing like a jacket, it's like that swish you would see of like a Vader's cape as he like about turns on the boot and like on his soft feet because there's no boot, and like goes to the door and grab, instead of like usually he would check and he doesn't, he just grabs the door handle and opens it. Yes.
Awesome. And your anger is so intense that you push aside a weird feeling in your gut that isn't as powerful, and then it clicks together like Legos. Like click. That's mostly for Steve to get Stephen happy. You know, I'm using that. He's not even paying attention, but I use a Lego sound effect to like in my brain. Clicks together, and you see standing on the other side of the door is a pale human male, appears to be in his 30s, with intense eyes that are just, there's a little bit of redness underneath. Have you met Inquisitor Savick before?
Oh,
Ken?
absolutely not. Nope.
Yeah. He's not wearing the giganto armor that you see. He's wearing a sleek Imperial design outfit. And yeah, I think we cut away from the moment where you open the door and there's Inquisitor Savick. You do recognize at his side is the double-bladed lightsaber with like some kind of circular guard. That is the symbol of the Inquisitors. They sometimes wear them on their back. It seems that he has it on a little chain that hangs down. And we'll cut away from you. So
Rude, Rich, rude.
that was my hard move. You failed, but I succeed. Jody, how do you know that V26 has left surreptitiously, like it's doing something sneaky?
So I think I'm at the droid bar that we talked about last session,
Oh, yes.
10101. And I think on the map of Trident Vespa, it's like directly across from where the Unmo's Tavern is.
Oh yes, yes,
Next
yes,
to that
yes.
circular building, like that little building that's next to the circular building.
Perfect.
And there, so I think that V2 sneaks away, and I know this because of I don't recognize right away, but because there's a missing spot at the table where they were at, there's sort of like a oil can or a spray or something that's still full that was delivered there after they'd left.
Cool. So you're at the tavern. You've come to this, or not the tavern, but your speakeasy. You come to the understanding that V26 seems to have left. You've been able to quell things among your people. As far as you can tell, they seem to understand the idea that if members of the droid collective die, it's an unacceptable risk to you. You tried to quash all their plans?
No, I think that I've tried to put it off. Basically to say, I think I put it off a little bit, and I say, well, if we're going to go forward with Force, one benefit we have above the others is that we can be rebuilt. But once our minds have been wiped, then that's the true death. So if we can get a hold of something where we can back ourselves up, I think that would be beneficial. Then if we end up having losses, it's not the true death for you. And I think that's what we're working towards, eventually being able to get there.
You're working on backups.
Yeah.
That is cool. And
I think it's more along the lines of I am using backups as the carrot to prevent the stick for now. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, I can't remember. How was your roll on the opening?
Oh, I got
Wait.
1. But if you're
Okay.
looking for a move against me, I think you have a hold left over in my notes from the previous roll.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Yeah, so if you want to hold, you got it.
Oh, yeah. Rich holds 1 from Underground. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. I think you realize, let's put a face to a name. I think you realize that some of your collective has been communicating with ED1, the droid in Frick City. And TD1 has offered them this very thing. Oh. It seems that Frick City, they have designed a backup process.
And I think this probably came to my attention simply because of the go-between of V2, who had been, I think we saw in the last session, had been on Rick City and is coming back and has established that communication. But V2 seems a little bit shifty. In droid terms, they aren't the same as what they were. Yeah.
And as you're realizing, oh, they're getting excited, oh, this will solve for this, we can move forward, the losses are even more acceptable, and plans are being moved forward and communicated outside of the speakeasy, you receive a communication from your boss, from Liana.
Oh, okay. I'll step outside of the speakeasy to take that. Those are two different worlds that need to be separated. So I'll step outside of the speakeasy, probably like around the alley, corner in an alley or something to take that message. What's up, Liana?
Jody, I hope you're well.
Well enough.
Is the team ready for a new action?
I can gather the team. Is this something that needs to be done quickly, or are we good with something that happens? How long do I have to gather them?
If you could gather them within the next hour so that we can discuss, that would be...
Certainly. I will put out the call. We will be at our regular meeting place.
Reach back out when you've gathered everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll start making calls.
Cool. So I think Chox and Tian, the two of you receive a call from Jody as you are at Unmo's Tavern, and Vumril has not reappeared. He is still in the back with Unmo.
We both get it on our comm, presumably at the same time.
Yes,
our space.
that's
pager.
okay with you guys. Just
yeah.
Same time.
I look up at Chox to see your reaction.
Cox is torn. Still wants to go in the back room and destroy everyone back there.
Since I said that we could meet at the regular meeting place, let's say that's Umos. So you have some time.
You guys meet at Unmo's? This is amazing.
Maybe 10 minutes. Enough time to throw your life away. Also enough time to make a better decision.
So kind of want to read a situation here because I'm interested in if there is or if there isn't. Wonder if there is an rear exit to that room, right? Did Umo give him a way out?
For sure, read a bad situation. That sounds
okay.
That sounds amazing.
We've been here before. Just trying to, I think also just to give it a little fictional positioning and a little bit more, flair if I fail here. I'm also looking to see who else in the bar. Now that Vumril is gone, my focus can get a little wider about, like, is there other people here with him? Is this, almost a setup, right?
Help me, before we go forward, how do you envision Vumril? Is he the kind of person who appears to be bold and acting on his own but always has backup? Or is he a person who's just that good and that deadly that they don't need such a...
He's the kind of person who would set a trap. Whether or not that needs help or not is purely based on the quarry. So he could have backup here. If that was the easiest way to lure me in, which, like, it's just now occurring to Chalks, like, hey, this could have been a trap. Right? All right, let's see. That's plus.
I mean, did it occur possibly because that's what Tian said several times, or you're just now thinking of it?
Something like that.
Sure.
All right. Maybe I'll get some XP. Turn it.
Today. You did express a wish to roll poorly, Greg.
That's worked out so
it's
far.
not up to me. I don't have that level of power that I can mess with the dice gods. Cool. Not so cool. Sorry. Cool for you. 10, hold 3.
Are there any dangers I haven't noticed up until now?
Uh-huh.
Besides being like in the cartel bar that apparently for some reason uses our contact spot.
I know. Crazy. Yes, this place, there are several cameras. And that's the danger, that if Vumril's in the back, Vumril can see you, but you can't see him.
What's the biggest threat? And why is it Tian?
Wow, I don't know if I can make it Tian in this specific situation,
Okay.
so I do think that it is Vumril. The biggest threat is Vumril. He is an assassin who has laid a trap. This feels too bold. He is the biggest danger to you right now.
This is sort of me asking the earlier question. What is my best way out? My way of asking, is there an exit to that room they went into? Kind of.
Sure. Yes, there is absolutely a way out. There is back. Well, let's just take a look. We've got a map. So Rich should use the map. We look at Unmos, which is shoot, I was in the wrong place. Fix it. Unmos, which is number 5, so it's the bottom area. I'm imagining to the left of Unmos there is some kind of entertainment, like possibly a movie or playhouse of some kind. And there is from Unmo's tavern, there's an underground tunnel that can be taken just like whoop. It's not even one of those like escaping for prison Alcatraz. It's like, yep, just sub-level egress from Unmo's that's been there and built for quite a long time.
Now I'm torn. Do I leave Tian here to whatever disaster she's got planned, or do I go stop his exit?
I was trying to reel in all our disasters together, but you didn't seem interested.
Chalk will send back a message to the team. Our regular meeting place has been compromised.
You're not wrong. Let's cut to Allie then. Allie, you receive a message first from Jody advising to meet at Unmo's, and then a follow-up message just moments later from Chuck saying our meeting place has been compromised.
Suggest alternative. Somewhere no one will think to look for us. And the droid dive bar. Don't worry, you'll be fine with us.
And you've sent that out as a message? Well, I know that's true. I will be fine. So okay.
Yeah.
Stand up kind of gesture to Chalks like, let's go.
Chuck, have you ever heard that there is a droid tavern? I think it's not super on the down low, so I think it would be a surprise to at least Ken or Chalks, if not both.
Oh, right. I assumed it was well known in the sense that people knew it existed, they just didn't go. So I
that's
think
interesting.
the approach I take is more this address.
I guess I'll follow you.
Saved by the bell. And I
Is
guess
there
we
any
will
kind
now.
of imperial? There is an imperial presence on here, isn't there?
There is an entire garrison here.
Yeah. I'm just looking for the map. Can I walk past the garrison on
You
my
can.
way
It's
to the
far to the
dive?
north. You have to go pretty far out of your way. So I had remembered as we were talking that Unmos and the droid speakeasy were close to each other. 10101 and Unmos are to the south, and the
Okay.
Imperial garrison is across the 3 lanes of
Yeah.
the Trident
Yeah.
to the north.
Da, 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 da. Because I want to try and get a message to the Imperial garrison.
Oh, do you?
I just don't quite know how to do it. Mechanically or geographically. I'm just looking at the map.
You could send V2.
You control V2 as if it were.
Oh yeah.
part of
Yeah. Well, no, I think the way to run that is that I do now have to manipulate. I've got some control over V2, but I
Oh,
need
but it's like
to
you gotta
manipulate them.
like you
Yeah.
gotta,
So I've
shoot
got a
one of those little
hook, but
drones.
I think just puppeting V2 doesn't feel right. So I think I need to manipulate V2, but I've got +1 ongoing.
Okay.
To act as a relay station between me and Imperial headquarters.
Okay.
Does that fly as a mechanical way forward?
Sure. What are you trying to achieve?
I need to place V2 at a place where they can act as a relay for me to send a message to the Empire.
Let's go ahead and use your +1 and have you manipulate. Roll with charm because Alex.
Yeah, which is never a good move. And I'm
XP is pretty great.
I'm -1 routinely for
So you're flat.
social intelligence. So that's -2. Here we go. What could go wrong?
Wait, you're not -2. You're -1 normally because it's charm. You have a +1 because of the control.
that
you
is
have.
true.
So it's flat.
Fine. So that's a 7.
So the 7 to 9 counter your offer, demand payment. I think what V26 wants you to do is they're concerned about Jody being upset, and so they want you to deal with that.
Don't
That's
worry.
their demand.
I'll talk to Jody. Absolutely. You needn't say a word to Jody. I will talk to Jody. And then I'm hoping that using this cutout, I can comlink to the Imperials and tell them where and when they can find kin.
Amazing. Amazing. Wow. Okay.
Which
it's all
is
coming
any
to
moment now at this address.
Yep.
From a friend of the Empire.
Amazing. Cool. So we cut back to Ken, where this stranger wearing an Imperial uniform has appeared at your door in the middle of you realizing that your betrothed has invaded your personal space, read your journal, delved into your secrets, and he. Good evening.
Good evening. May I help you with something? I'm in the middle of something myself.
His eyes do not miss the wreck of the door. Sorry. The wreck of the door in the living room and the very obviously stressed look of Gannett's as well as you. I think you're a little unruffled.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like there's hair flopped out of his perfectly like coiffed. It's like in front of his forehead, the whole shebang. The hair is out of place.
Now, Chiss names are stupid long, and they always go by like a 1 or 2 syllable snippet of that for
Okay.
the purpose of non-Chiss. So Gannett's name, if you look in the NPCs, Gannett's name is actually Inaganet Nurodoro. Or Nurodo. And I would imagine Kin has something very similar to that. I don't know if it's expanded universe or what. I think it's amusing and interesting to me, the idea that like, here's our name, but you idiots get a small version because that's all you can remember, non-Chiss people. Right?
All
That
right.
seems very
I
Chiss
love
to
that.
me.
Yeah. No, that seems good. I'll roll with
This
that.
guy rattles off your whole ass name, and he hits the accentiques and whatever little. It's like pitch is perfect. That is your name, correct? Yes.
Kin tenses up a little more because I think it's been so long since someone has actually even said his full name. That would be I. Yes.
My name is Inquisitor Savick, an attaché to the Imperial presence here on Spaceport Trident Vespa. Good evening. I believe you are commonly known as Kin.
Yes, that is what I've gone by to those of an inferior tongue.
Very pleased to find that you are here. Your family is such a loyal family to the Empire. Send the girl away. I need to talk with you.
Oh. Yeah, he's angry at her. Yeah, so I think Kin looks over, says, Gannet, if you wouldn't mind going to market, you've used quite a few things to make dinner. There's coin, and he like nods his head to a dresser, and there should you need it.
Cool. And she goes to the dresser and tell me if this is too much, Kay, feel free. But I think she grabs your comm unit as well.
Ooh, go for it, yeah. He's not paying attention.
Cool. And then she will. I mean, she's lost a good deal of cool. I mean, she's sobbing. Her eyes are wet. You terrified her.
How unacceptable of a chiss.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. So who wants to run into Gannet?
So I mean, if Chalks and I could on our way to the speakeasy.
Yeah, Tiana's the one who would recognize her.
Oh, for sure. That's
Yeah, I
true.
have no idea who she is.
Oh, true. Yes, and I'd love for Jody to be in a scene with other people. So maybe Jody, you're near enough.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm at the
Okay.
speakeasy. That's where like the alley
Solid.
around was where we were making the plans. So yeah.
So Rich, she took the comm link.
Yeah, and I'm thinking maybe she just shows up at the speakeasy.
Okay, so
all
she
the PCs
heard-
can deal with her. Yeah.
Everybody come here, and she's like, "Oh, my betrothed! I better find out what he's doing because I'm real nosy."
Less of a like she sees that she knows who Inquisitor Savick is. He's shown up. She grabs his comm unit to try to reach out to you guys, sees the messages of what's going on, and shows up with what was going on in my head canon. Does that make sense to everybody? And does that feel okay? She's still
Yes.
like, I'm showing up because I have a problem to save my betrothed, even though he scares me. I'm a loyal daughter. Cool. So yeah, you guys are gathering together. The red lights are all off at this point. It's regular lighting because Jody turned that off a while ago and chilled everybody out. But Chalks, there are a lot of droids here. It's a lot of droids. A bunch of pit droids and astromech droids and load lifters. Like, they don't care about personal space. This speakeasy should be like twice as big as it is for how many people are here.
This has also like been converted into a war room, right?
Yes, but they've hidden most of the war stuff.
Okay. Okay.
They put it away because Jody was right, or is it out? You tell me,
No, no,
Jody.
no. It has been put away, but I think you have enough experience. You know there's something going on. You're like, I see aggressive moves here.
Yeah, so Chucks is a little confused. Like, is this a normal droid speakeasy? Is this what they all look like? Or do they all look like they're operation centers? It's fascinating. And then like gets bumped by a load lifter and is about to like, no.
Do they just let us in? Like
Jody
is
says so.
is
I
there
think we have
vouching?
They
to.
don't
I
like
think
it.
we have to vouch for you.
We have to
And-
vouch for Tian, but yeah, you have to vouch for Chucks, right?
Right. And does
I'm
Gannett just
practically a regular.
is Gannett headed this direction and coming in?
Yeah. I just want to give you guys a chance to like figure out how you're situated before she comes running in with the emergency thing. So, do I just jump straight there? You guys good? You're effectively gathered, and
Yeah, I
you're
think
about
that's
to
the
reach out
next
to
point.
Yeah, I think I'm like,
attention. Yeah.
where's Allie and Ken? We're on the clock. Liana's called us.
Where is Allie? You've got your
Allie will
communications
be
with the
late.
Empire. Yeah. Okay. So Allie's going to be a little bit late. I think Gannett
So-
shows up before Allie does. Then
It's the three of us at a table being
Yep.
annoyed that two members of the team haven't made it.
exactly. So Gannett appears. There's a load lifter droid that like tries to box her out. And, no. I'm here because Ken. I need help. Where's Tian? She's looking around the load lifter droid.
What are you doing? I'll get up and move over in like a aggressive but uncertain manner.
And I
Tian,
get up
who's
and go with him.
this?
Yeah.
She shows Ken's comm unit. Ken's in trouble.
Who is kin to you?
Kin is kin.
He's my betrothed.
Chucks looks at Tian.
It's funny. Ken never mentioned being engaged to us.
I'm glad the
Oh.
droid said it before me.
I understand this is a new development, and I understand that he has a relationship with Tian as well as Lack. I understand.
And
So
Jody kind of
things
looks
happen.
over.
News to me too, Joe. I'm gonna take his comm link. Like, yes, Kin likes things a certain way and is unused to change.
I'm sorry. This is more important than whatever you have going on. There's an Imperial Inquisitor at our home right now, and I have a feeling that Kin is very much in danger.
And Chucks grabs Tian's arm. Because Chucks is not unsure that Tian didn't send an Imperial Inquisitor after
When would
Kin.
I have had time to do that? But I appreciate your estimation of my skills. This was not me. And I also like things to be a certain way. So I think if nobody stops me, I'm out.
You're headed towards Ken's.
Yeah.
And I think along the way, Jody is going to follow you, but sternly requests an explanation of what is going on. Who is this Gannett person? And, and we don't have to go into that, but that's kind of, she's like, catch me up. What's all this crap you kids have been into?
And I mean, if are you asking Tian?
Yes.
Oh, so you get a very biased answer. If she showed up, wanted everything her own certain way. Apparently, their families are friends, and I forget. Is this standard Chiss marriage procedure, or is
Which
this
part? Which part?
like the arranged marriage, or is that?
Kate, what do you feel? Do you feel like that's a normal thing, or it's only for like certain classes or families? What do you think?
I think it's usually only certain classes, but Ken has not told them he is part of those classes.
Okay.
Like, yeah, it's not like it is a thing in upper society, but they necessarily, until recently, maybe did not know that Kin was part of upper society. Granted, his behaviors might have given him away.
Fine, Tian. Yes, but the most important thing is why are the Imperials after Ken and sending someone like, what's an Inquisitor?
Does Jody not know what an Inquisitor is? Is that part of the question?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know that I would know. How common is that knowledge?
Oh man, yeah, you're an Imperial spy. You totally.
Yeah,
know
sorry,
the
I would definitely
Inquisitors.
know that.
Yeah, for sure. They gave you the briefing. Do not
I got
mess
my
with
own
these guys.
backstory.
See this dude with the helmet and the cape?
Yeah, whatever they want, listen to them and get out of the way. In fact, that'll be my explanation to Jody. Whatever they want, listen to them and get out of their way. So following me is a bad idea. And
I think. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and I don't answer why they would want him, unless you press more on that.
No. I think as soon as you say, hey, basically, Jody interprets this as there's an Imperial assassin around, things have escalated, and she basically, sends a comm signal back to the speakeasy saying, threat level has escalated. There are, Imperial assassins and additional soldiers around. Be on your lookout because they're aware of something. Because I think it's all related to the droid stuff.
Is Chalks coming with us?
Oh yes, and I think Trox may have sent a message to Allie and only Allie that someone else in the clan has sold us out to the Empire.
No.
Although that, if I recall correctly, is not how Allie was trying to sell us out. It was a different one. And different than what I was going to sell us out for. So who knows? There could be a third mole.
I think Ali is of the view that things are going to plan.
Yeah, right. Excellent.
Sell us out. No, this is the path. This is carving a path forward. This is good. This is.
And I set a timed alert to Leanna so that whenever our hour is up from when she contacted us, we are under deadly concerns. We will contact you as soon as possible. But this doesn't go off until our hour's up.
Perfect. Cool. I love this. Everything seems to be up to a simmer, not quite to a boil. We are at a halfway point, so let's pause and take a bio break. So, Ken, did you invite Inquisitor Savick into your domicile when he mentioned?
Of course. How could I not? That'd be so rude.
He walks into your place. He looks around. He glances over at just a picture of you and Gannett, and you can tell a bit of disapproval there.
What may I? Yes.
It's my understanding that you've been approached by the girl that you just asked to leave, and she's proposed some kind of marriage to you. Is that correct?
Yes. And not to be improper, but I fail to see what this has to do with imperial relations, not to be rude, but
Of course. Let me help you to understand. Gannett, as she is called, she has created quite a large debt for her family to the Hutt cartel. Your own family has offered to help shoulder that burden if Gannet agrees to marry you. I'm not entirely sure if your family has discussed this with you directly. The
They have not.
disappointment with you.
Oof. Words are not necessary for certain things to become understood.
See, so you are aware of their disappointment in you as their son.
Again, I fail to see how this is Imperial business.
Ken, what is it about Inquisitor Savik's expression that tells you that he is enjoying the anger that he's stoking in you right now?
Oh, there's this like gentle tap, like a 1, 2, 3 with his like pointer, middle, and ring finger, just like against the like the arm of the chair perhaps, or wherever he's leaning against. And it's
Well,
just
I
like
love
this
the idea of him just
metal.
sitting down in your place. Like he just
Oh
has
yeah,
to
it's
say,
like
yeah.
it's like this almost like this 1, 2, 3 tap melody that he is. It's like he's conducting a play.
Ken, I believe that there is a different opportunity for you. Would you like to hear it?
And Ken knows he should not fuck with this guy, but at the same time, just like, I believe my desire to hear it has little to do with you telling it.
It's smarter than I anticipated. Asked out the girl. She's nothing but trouble for you. And just by agreeing to this relationship, your family becomes ensnared by the cartel. I know you don't want that. But then you're left with, how do you make your family happy? They are honorable members of the Empire. You can come and work for me. They feel your anger, sense your raw potential, kid. Serve me. Leave this team of yours, bounty hunters and scum. Serve the Empire. Family will be so very proud of you. You can make them understand your new power. Either way, that's what I offer you, kin. And the price to get it.
And what if I say no? Surely that is not an answer you will take.
No, of course not. You have kindlings of power, and therefore you are dangerous if untrained. Gods forbid if you become a Jedi. So, a disappointment to your family. But I'm sure the Emperor, our warlord, Zenj, will take mercy on you. send you to the spice mines, Kessel. Perhaps he won't be merciful, and I'll have to kill you. But I'd like to avoid that. That seems unpleasant for you.
Do you care for my pleasantry?
No. Of course not. You've pegged me. Ken, I'll give you some time to consider your options. Yes? I'm sure you need to make arrangements to send the girl away, to inform your team that you've traded up.
Where should I meet you when I've settled my affairs?
Come to the garrison. That is where I am to be found. I give you until the next day to make your decision, to communicate to your family. That should suffice. And he stands.
I think.
Hmm?
Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna do something stupid. Or Ken's gonna do something stupid because he doesn't like feeling overpowered like this. He gets up. I want to push him back into the chair. Like he goes to stand. I want to use the force to push him back into the chair.
Wow. Okay. That could go wrong.
It could go very wrong.
So when you reach out to move the material, roll with the force, roll plus tech, and mark 1 harm.
Let's see how this goes. Oh, it's a 10.
So with a 10 plus, you choose 2 from the below. Something is hurt. You can move something bigger than a person. You have precise control. You suffer less harm.
I'll suffer less harm and have precise control.
Ooh, nice. So you have precise control, and you just sit him back down. His eyes widen for just a flicker of a moment with that precision.
I apologize, Inquisitor, but I had a few more things I wished to speak about.
Oh, that's a great cutaway moment. We will come back to that, but I want to see what the rest of the crew is doing as Gannett has tried to rush to get you help, and you guys had a brief conversation. Allie still hasn't shown up, and Jody has her timed, "Hey boss, we have trouble" message that has not yet been delivered. Let's catch up with Allie, because
I think I'm
yes.
I'm aiming to get there.
Okay.
But I'd like to know that an Imperial presence is in motion.
You know that then. Yes, message received, and you were able to V26. It gives you the boom, the Inquisitor Savick is headed that way.
And then I'd like to arrive shortly after the Imperials, or as the others leave the building. Because for my purposes, it doesn't matter if we're there when the Imperials raid the bar.
Of course not. So you are hoping to...
So I think I'm probably in an alley observing the dive bar.
Okay, cool. And that's when stormtroopers are going to be showing up.
And if the stormtroopers arrive, then I will follow them in and, make sure droid kind of not harmed. But if the group leave, I will appear to be arriving.
just so we're clear, part of V26's plan was that some droids there would be attrition amount.
Yes.
Okay.
But one would want to minimize that.
Sure. Totally. Then the rest of the team is leaving the 10101 to head to Ken's. Allie is there.
Ken is not with you?
Ken is not with them. Allie, you see that.
I emerge from the alley, as if in a hurry to reach the rendezvous. Ken is not. Where is Ken?
Ken's in trouble, Gannett would say, volunteering the information because she wants everyone to know and come help.
Where is Kin in trouble?
At our domicile, there's an inquisitor who's been sent to him.
Ah. I need to find V26. I will follow you.
Okay.
And disappear into the dive bar.
Nice. And just because I now have this prop that I can show on cam, I think it's around the time. Oh man, is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? Yeah, we have a stormtrooper transport. Thank you, Steven. Stormtrooper transport shows up, and a bunch of stormtroopers start piling out of it. That is like the coolest happy toy that I have on my desk now. Yep. So AL went in. You see that they're in there, and you know they don't love droids. They're here to put down a rebellion. They're gonna grab all.
Well, I hope they're here to collect Kin.
Oh yeah. Well, there's no Kin here.
Well,
right?
I follow them in.
Okay. Yeah. So they're in, and they're talking back
Taking
and
names,
forth.
pushing droids against the wall.
Yes, they are. So I think it would be interesting to me if you are effectively rolling for the droids acting under pressure here, right? Because you're here to oversee this and make sure things don't go poorly. Let's have you roll plus cool.
Yeah, I thought you might. So that's a -1.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, that's,
Oh,
XP
oh wow, that goes from 3 to 2.
Oh, I see. So it goes from 3 to 2. I see.
Yeah. And there's nobody there to help.
It's true. They shove some of the droids around. You're there to try to urge caution, but it's not like they're going to necessarily listen.
You do not need to interfere with droids in this way.
Awesome. And then as you say that to them, one stormtrooper with the orange shoulder pad thing saying he's a sergeant, he's looking at you and he's giving you a little bit of the what for of like, listen, we're here because we received notification about sir, you need to see this. And they open the case with all the blasters inside. Kin,
I think it's time we saw some meat beings under pressure.
I think meat beings under pressure seem amusing and interesting to me, but I don't want them to arrive before Kin, who just used the Force on an Inquisitor, has a chance to at least say, "Oh, I have questions." Did you, Kay, actually have questions, or was that just a setup for something else?
We have to have a question or two.
Excellent. So, Savick, brief flicker of surprise, mostly admiration at the level of precise control. And then you say you have a few questions, and he just places his hands on the arms of the chair as if he's still in control, even though you forced him to stay. Go ahead and ask.
You've promised me many a thing that I would appreciate in this offer. But I feel it would be remiss of me not to question some things. And I think, let me know if you want to veto this or not, it's too excessive, but he like holds out a hand and the book, just like the journal flies out from under the
Oh, that
mat.
sounds fun. Yeah, sure.
Right to the hand, like the Force, just like. You say there is kindling and there is potential. But what of the madness of the Force and the toll it takes on those who have been, and he kind of sneers as he says it, gifted with it?
Tricks of the mind. And suffer from that, Kin?
I just like toss the book to him. Earlier, few and far between, but still happenstance, I've been told that I have been seeing a Zabrak in the midst, taking on camouflage of the actual bodies of my comrades.
How long have you had this gift, Kin?
The force or the unwanted?
Both.
I'll name the date of the gala, which would have been maybe 4 years ago or something like that,
Okay.
probably.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. And the chrysalis of your awakening to power coincided with the vision of the darkness. I see. I can help you take control of those illusions. If need be, I can even help you to kill that Zabrak. Under your own power, of course. I won't do it for you. That would only make you weak.
I think this might be a good time for like the others to arrive.
Excellent. Cool. So, yeah, there was a desire for meat beings to be under pressure. I think that's an interesting idea. Do you guys arrive in time, or if you don't act under pressure, then the hard choice or price to pay could be that maybe Inquisitor Savick hasn't arrived alone, or there's some other complication. So, Chalks, would you like to act under pressure?
I'd like to form a plan
Ooh.
as we're running.
Even better.
As we're running towards the spire, right where this condo is. The problem is I don't have much of a plan, and so I throw it to Jody or Tian if there's more of a plan in one of your minds.
I have
Okay,
bad
so-
news about my mind.
Why don't you do that, Tian? Oh, wait. Someone asked about XP, right?
Oh,
No.
did someone ask about XP?
Someone asked about coins.
Coins, yeah. So that
Credits.
Credits,
Credits, yeah.
credits.
Yes. Yes. Someone asked about if you guys were going to get any creds.
Yeah. Was that you, Chan?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't you take the lead on this?
Can this get me credits?
It can't get you credits, but it can get you. Oh, you're looking for credits for drive, not XP. I was confused.
Correct.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Got it.
no worries. You were still trying to help, and I appreciate that.
I mean, does it like I don't think I have a plan. Like I had a plan. Was hey, Allie's very convincing, and I don't have to be in love with this dude anymore if he gets disappeared, and then the Empire isn't gonna try to mess with me, and that sounds great. And then I start talking to other people who aren't pathological robots, and things are unclear now. And all of a sudden, the kin is under threat. I'm like, I'm gonna go punch somebody in the face. So that's my plan. Which, if it's about taking violent, dangerous, destructive action, but is it a plan?
If
Okay.
we're going violent, dangerous, destructive action, then the person who proposed you do a plan is the person would roll. If that's where you guys want to go with it, I'm perfectly amenable to such hasty action.
I'm desperate to see Chalks come up with a plan.
Okay, so I think here's Chalks' plan. Tian wants to go in there and mess everything up, right? Tian is so emotional, as is Gannett. Jody and Chalks are a little more calculating at this moment. So the plan is to let Tian and Gannett go into the room with the Inquisitor there and start stuff. And then we will be the surprise for the Inquisitor, who may not be aware that we are there, especially Jody. Jody's a droid.
That's bananas.
So bananas.
It's so crazy. It just might work.
You know, the best part about the make a plan move is it doesn't ask if it's a good plan.
No.
So, see. Okay, so overall, I think the plan is actually somewhere closer to being stealthy, safe, and smart. So it's sharp. Does that make sense?
You're being
Okay.
stealthy and smart. We're being
Right.
pushed forward violently.
I don't think Piss has plenty of resources or people. I don't think we're necessarily basing this plan on accurate or current information.
Well, we
Uh,
know about the Inquisitor.
Yeah, but I think that's more significant opposition, so that's -1. Is there significant dissent? Does Tian not even knowing there's a plan?
No, I don't know there's a plan. Is that dissent? It's ignorance.
Okay. So
I
that's
can't argue against it if I don't know it exists. That's the logic you want to apply to this?
yeah, I think with my sharp at 1, that's a -1 for the roll. Is that good with everyone?
I think it'd be a +1 for your sharp and a -1 for
So
significant
rolling
opposition.
flat. Rolling flat. Okay.
Right. That feels right.
The plan. All right. And that is a 6.
And because it's assumed you're all working together, you all get to mark XP and no one gets to call for help or aid because you're already working together. The good news is you all get an XP. Congratulations.
Is that
Emily?
all?
Everyone in the plan.
Okay.
Right. So I don't think I should have any XP.
Yeah, or me.
True. You are not currently at risk due to that. Let's see. Okay. Cool. Let's double check our basic move. On a miss, you find yourselves in over your head or under fire as your plan falls apart. Everyone marks XP on the miss. Everyone involved in the plan, which would be Jody, Chox, and Tian. And yeah, I think what happens is that I had an idea, but as I think that particular heart moved through, I realized it may not hold together. So instead, I'm going to switch gears. And I have a different idea that I will deploy. But yes, I have a different idea. Yes, okay, here we go. So the three of you are, and again, I'm imagining this is a Spire apartment, but I think there was a hallway, right?
Yeah.
Like, are there other apartments? Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't put a hallway where you didn't envision that existing. Okay, because you charge up the stairs, Chox? Is this a thing where you charge all the way up dozens of stairs, or did you guys take the turbo lift? Even though
Elevator.
Yeah, I think we took the stairs.
I mean, I'm definitely taking the stairs. You can take the lift if you want.
amazing, cool. So you guys are charging up the stairs. With Jody, you're probably like the last of the group, right? You're not super agile, but you don't get tired. You just move up at the exact pace that you.
I think the plan is that Chox and I come in behind Chen and
That's
Gunnet,
right.
so
That's
yeah,
right. So Chun
we're in the back.
and Gunnet are charging in. You guys come up the stairs, around the corner, and you, Tian, see leaning against the wall near the doorway is a guy that you haven't seen for a number of years. You still see the tattoos along the side of his face. Is wearing a cool new pair of shades, and it's not until he uses the name you gave him on Coruscant that you recognize Hop Galadio, who you had turned into an Imperial agent.
I'm struggling between the impulse of, oh, interesting new wrinkle, very nicely done, and I don't think that I would like, okay, so you're here, okay, whatever. Are you going to try to stop me?
Yeah, so he calls you by. Did you went by Tian then as well, or a different name? I can't remember. I'm sorry.
I think I would have had a fake name because I was infiltrating some rebel cell, right? So like, would have been something else.
Cool. So let's look at our, because Rich always gets stuck on names. Let's look at our names and let's call you Chandra. Are we cool with that?
Sure.
Chandra. And he steps in the hallway in your way. Gannett stops for a second because he pulls out a blaster. It's a very nice looking Imperial blaster pistol.
So he's pulling a blaster on me, and that is
Yes, that is
That
his.
is his
That is
thing.
my hard move. As he's pulled.
yeah, I'm gonna punch him in the face.
Amazing. Then please try to take him down.
I haven't tried to do that yet. My goodness. Tough as 1. Oh, it's an 11.
Delightful. So on a hit, you and whatever you're fighting inflict harm on each other. On a 10 plus, you get to choose an extra effect.
I have him where I want him.
Oh, awesome. He does his 3 harm to you with his heavy blaster pistol. Pew! Or more accurately, work? I don't think that worked, did it? Did you guys hear a blaster pistol? Huh. Weird. It's not working
I
at all.
hear like a staticky noise now.
I know. Okay, better?
Yes.
Yeah, no staticky.
Okay, weird.
But no pew pew.
Okay, yeah, the pew pew didn't work. I'm not sure why that didn't work, but that's okay. I'll figure it out later.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, now you're muted.
Okay,
Okay,
There we
gotcha.
go.
Oh,
got
yeah,
it.
you're back.
weird. Voice mod is taking a break. We'll just ignore her. She's all good. She's just decided to, it's fine. He fires on you. You cold cock him. I don't imagine that a fist does that much damage. Like 1 damage, I think it's enough to. It's going to bruise him. It's going to knock him back. He's going to lose his footing. And I think what happens right after that is that Gannett moves up with you, and she's drawn a vibro knife, and she start stabbing him.
Oh my god.
I guess I will also shove her against the wall. Not in a harming way, but just like, come on.
Okay, and now he's bleeding, and this is an attack on an Imperial officer.
Oh, that's what he says. He's an officer? Phew.
Yeah, that's what he's claiming.
You've done well for yourself, Hop. I will toss him a stim pack and hurl Gannett through the open door. Is the door open?
No, the door's not open.
Then I push her towards the door to open it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, she's gonna enter the code to open up the door, and Hobbs says, "I thought you turned him in."
Not yet.
Sweet. Door opens up, Ken, and it is Gannett holding a bloody vibro knife. Although it doesn't say bloody for
Vibro
long,
knife?
it vibrates. Oh, vibro knife is a Star Wars thing.
No. Ken said, "Is that my vibro knife?"
Oh, sorry. I apologize. I misheard.
Good.
She says, "Oh, yes."
Why is there blood on it?
And Inquisitor Savick is just chuckles. Starts to stand, and you feel the pressure as he's pushing back on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kin sort of stumbles for a moment, like feels his legs kind of want to buckle to that pressure.
We're here to save you. We're gonna have to leave the spaceport. Savick chuckles. Like this is just so rich and delightful. Yes, of course. That's what you want, isn't it?
So I'm gonna push Gannett towards the Inquisitor.
Okay.
And tell him this is the chiss that you're looking for. And I mean, I don't know how much you know. So about like the I know the given my info dump of like I know the Empire doesn't want Kin's family to get into bed with the Hutts, and this is a connection, and this is where it gets severed.
Excellent. And he will complete standing up and reach, and and then he picks her up in the air.
What are you doing? This was not part of our agreement.
Agreement?
Oh, you've made your decision then.
Did I even have a decision to make? You made it quite clear that there wasn't one.
What decision? As he lets her breathe in order to hear you telling her to go away.
And I have a blaster on Kin at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kin just kind of looks at Tian. Did I hear from the hallway you're the one who turned him in?
Sure. That sounds delightful. Why not? Are you okay with that, Keith? Is that too much of a stretch? Okay, cool.
So Kin raises a brow at Tian's blaster. There isn't an agreement. I've been informed that the Empire sees need of my services. Someone made them aware of my potential, and seeing as Gannett almost just lost her life and there's only one other person here, I would assume that was your choice, Tian. And he's like trying to steady his voice, but there's maybe like this undercurrent of like hurt that because you've worked with him so long, Tian, you can hear.
No, okay, that's how I want to play it. No, you've got it all backwards. The Empire came to me. They wanted you. They wanted to prevent your union so that your family wouldn't. Well, yeah, you've already heard all that shit. So, but there's more than one way to prevent this marriage. And is Gannett still hanging in the air?
She's hanging in the air, but not choking.
Yeah. So I gesture to that. I don't know anything about whatever his plan is. Gesturing at the Inquisitor.
Kin will become my pupil and learn about the Force. Tian, what you've brought to the Empire, you'll be well rewarded. And he just casually, like, there's a small pouch jingling with credits that he'll just,
Or skip.
telekinetic over to Tian. And he is offering you 4 creds.
Only 4 credits?
That is
only 4 creds.
Insult to everyone involved. So yeah, I'll throw them at his feet.
4 big C creds, just so like rich, like not actual 4 measly credits that would get you of cheap booze, but 4 big C credits in this game's thing.
Meta currency
Thousands
credits.
of credits. Yes.
So enough that when I throw them at his feet, it's a nice jingling sound, and they
It
scatter
is.
all over
It's
the
a
place.
jingling sound, and it's 4 drive track that you're throwing away.
Well, I mean, the conversion rate's only 2 drive tracks on it.
It's true. 2 drive track.
I mean, if he'd have given me 4 drive track, maybe it would have
I
been a
know,
harder
but instead
decision.
he gave you 4 credit. It's fine.
How does Kin react to that?
Okay, so he's like, okay, so Tian did this. He goes to pay Tian. Tian kind of throws the money back. And I think some of the composure he's trying to keep cracks a little. And was I just a bounty to you then, Tian?
You have been too many things to me. And it is time for you to choose what you want to be, apparently. I'll look at the Inquisitor and be like, he can go with you, but I'll be carking damned if you take him.
Is this a good moment for Jody and Chalks to show up?
Yeah, but they also failed. So I think let's cut to Jody and Chalks. Does Jody and Chalks, do you guys take the turbo lift then, since you were coming in a different, or are you coming from the outside? Like, what was this hastily formed failed plan? What was your backup part?
Oh, I think we stopped to do something before we headed up the stairs. I don't know what. Maybe
Nice.
get ready or something. The other reason that we are delayed is Jody stopped in the hallway whenever she saw Hop down, and examines his wounds. Is he going to live?
If you give him aid, he will live.
She
If
will
you
slit his
leave him
throat.
be, he'll bleed out.
There shouldn't be any witnesses here, right? She's going to make sure he goes down.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a bear.
Oh man.
And maybe make sure and clean up a little bit, like slip the body into a trash chute to be picked up or something like that, just to make sure that there's nothing where, no evidence left behind. So that's why Jody's delayed.
That might also be why Chalks is delayed. That's a little that's a little cold, Jody.
We're here to protect Ken. We're not here to, start to bring the Imperials down on us.
You and Allie are starting to terrify me.
But isn't that how I taught you? Chalks, you hear a voice from the hallway. Leave nobody behind. And you see that Vumril Gerlis has emerged from shadows.
Oh, Jody. Save Kin. And Chalks is going to run down the hallway at Vumril. This might be another one of these Sith visions, but
He cackles. He says, "Listen, I told you it was just business when I gutted your sister."
Vumril starts slamming the hallway with the grab hammer as he's making his way towards the voice.
Nice. Okay. Ollie. Yeah, so the blasters. There are blasters here, and the stormtroopers, they've turned their guns and they are now firing on the droids. Pew, 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 pew.
I was going to try these are not the blasters you're looking for, but I don't think it would work here. So I will have to start laying about me with a grab hammer.
Yes! You want to take them down?
I do. Because these are bad people doing bad things to good droids.
It's true, they are killing droids. Innocent.
The idea was they would come here, they would arrest Kin and walk away, and that would be all that would happen. How has this plan not worked?
It had a 52% chance of success.
Okay, so take them down. Roll plus tough, which I think is pretty good.
You're
Yeah.
tough as 2.
Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Then 2d6 plus 2. Whew, that's a 7. Squeak.
Okay, on a hit, you and whatever you're fighting inflict harm on each other. Now, one stormtrooper is using a blaster carbine, but this is a lot of them. Luckily, they're not all shooting at you, so that's good. A blaster carbine is 3 harm, close auto. So, if they are lighting up this place because they are stormtroopers, now you're very precise. You will take 3 harm, and then you do a bunch of harm with your.
Okay, so I have 2 armor, so I take 1 harm.
Oh, it's dawdle.
And then I inflict. I can't remember, what does the grav hammer do? The grav hammer does 3 harm.
Yes, it does.
But I always get +1 harm because there is a reason I get +1 harm. I can't remember what it is.
Your
Is it normally-
purpose. You were
Oh yeah,
created
my
to serve a
purpose.
specific function.
Yeah, all attacks do +1 harm, so that's 4 harm.
Nasty. Yes, I think you grav hammer a couple of stormtroopers. Ah, we hear the Wilhelm scream that I have to do out loud because soundboard not working. Just to double check, it's not working. I can't even hear it. I don't know even what's going on at this point. That stinks. Okay. Yes, but then one of them fires at you. You hear another one scream up. Switch it. What would they say? They would say like, "Get the droid poppers," and yeah, they're going to be reaching for some ion grenades and trying to electrocute droids as other droids are going to grab for the blaster rifles, and this place is going up. What do you wish to do?
This hasn't gone quite to plan. I am going to protect the droids.
Oh, that's amazing. I adore
like
this.
the Messiah I am.
Yes. When you prevent harm to another character, roll plus tough.
Here we go. Oh, that is a 12.
Excellent. So you protect them, but you'll suffer some or all of the harm they were going to get. And then on a 10 plus, you get to choose an extra. You can suffer little harm. All impending danger is now focused on you. You inflict harm on the enemy, or you hold the enemy back.
I think hold the enemy back.
Awesome. So you hold the enemy back, so they can escape from
so that the droids and their blasters can escape.
Nice. I think a couple of the droids are talking about like, no, we have to retain. And there's one droid that gets shot a couple of times before you move in to defend, and there's another droid, like a protocol droid that's like reaching inside and trying to pull their hardware out so that they can be resurrected. And you move in just before a stormtrooper is able to blast it. They toss out one of the little droid poppers, little grenades, and you swat it away with your hammer, and it slams against the wall. The smooth jizz music becomes all warbled and the like as blaster bolts fill the air, and a number of the droids make their way out as you heroically defend them against stormtroopers. Of course, we cut back to the garrison where they are receiving frantic communication from the guy who's inside the.
It's gone bad. They've gone crazy in here.
Exactly.
They have guns.
The garrison is being alerted to all of this craziness. We cut back into the very now calm and serene apartment of Kin, where Tian has has denied the credits for her serene-esque, somewhere adjacent to.
There's a Mexican standoff going on in here.
And Inquisitor Savick he's slowly lowering Gannett to the floor and releasing her from his hold, expecting Kin to inform her that she has been cast out and that the union is severed so that your family will not be ensnared by the Hutt cartel. You do.
Gannett, There is no more betrothal, but your debts will be paid. They will not hinder you, nor will a marriage you do not wish for.
Never said I didn't wish for it.
His eyes go a little wide before he can help himself. Like, wait, she wants me?
And then Inquisitor Savick cackles. Yes. Very good. You may go. And then he will gesture for Gannett to leave.
You wanted to marry me?
Suggested it to my family.
Because of the debt.
That was an excuse. I'm sorry.
Kin, you have bigger things to worry about now.
Yeah, how does Tian react to this?
Tell her.
Gesture at the Inquisitor that wants to steal you away.
Cast her out. Become my pupil, Ken. Outside you hear a grab hammer charging and slamming into the floor and ceiling and
If you
No,
want
Rich.
to,
yes.
You cut out partway through.
Aw. So Gravhammer is charging up and hitting floor and ceiling and wall because Chalks is going buck wild. I just want to remind everyone that that is a weird thing happening in your hallway just outside.
if you, and I kind of lean in to Kin, if you want to be his pupil, leave. If you don't, I will back your decision. Under my voice.
Yeah, just under BT dubs, just so you know. And what does a world look like where I don't allow him to take
That's also for you to choose. Meaningful look.
me?
Meaningful. That's great.
Meaningful look.
And I think it's one of those things where you don't actually have to do it, like cocking a 6-gun, but there's some kind of charging up thing of the blaster that I say after that, like, clearly, we're gonna do this now, right?
Is Jody coming in?
I think Jody can come in if she would like, or she can stay out in the hallway and help Chalks with his problem.
So I think Jody's going to jump in, and I don't know any of this stuff that's going on. I'm just going to shoot the guy.
You do. I have given you as much info as you would like because we have that binary
communication
link.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Do I want to?
But
know?
I mean, if you want to go in and shoot this guy,
yeah, I think I just
down.
want to go in and shoot the guy. That sounds right.
Okay. So let me check in. We are currently at 15 minutes till.
Yeah.
Is this the final shot of Allie and the droid rebellion happening? But not a great start out. Face off between Jody, Tian, Kin, and Inquisitor Savick, and a fight to the death just outside between Chalks and Vumril. Is that where we stop?
I think that's a good place to stop.
There is no better place to stop.
I would tend to agree, but I wanted to make sure.
The screen divides into 3.
Yeah,
There's Chalks wrestling in this one. There's Allie, fighting off stormtroopers in that one. And in the middle, there's the Mexican standoff as Jody's blaster emerges from her forearm.
Yes, Kin looking indecisive, Tian looking at him with eyes.
And then it all cuts to the message going out from Jody that to Liana that you can't take the job right now because emergency things have happened. Delightful.
Oh, it's so good.
Let's do some payoff. Oh God. Well, because we did not have enough credits.
That is so fair. Why would anyone not want to be married to Kim?
This hasn't gone quite to plan. Sit to Liana. Amazing. Let's start from the left-hand side going towards the right. Each of you can roll your payoff. So if you direct your attention to the basic moves way down on row 203, because there's just so many moves. When a bounty hunter is ready to pull the trigger, and you can choose not to, like, I don't want to roll this, you can choose not to. So this is optional. The way that it works is that if you have 0 or 1 box checked on your drive path, you will roll with a -3. With 2 boxes checked, you roll with a -2. With 3 boxes, a -1. If you've checked 4 boxes and you're halfway there, you roll with a +0. You roll flat. 5 or 6 a 1, 7 boxes a 2, and 8 boxes +3. You can't call for aid. It's all on your shoulders. So do you, Kay, choose for Ken to roll your payoff move. Please do look at the options, because on a 3-, things are really bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ken's not there yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Keith, and again, don't forget, I may run Bounty of the Week again soon. Who knows? We'll see. So you can save it and bring the character back and bring the drive track as you've gotten it back. That's A-okay. So don't feel like this is your only chance. But if you want to drive it like a stolen car, you can totally do that thing. Keith, you have 2 drive track boxes filled. Do you wish to roll payoff?
So that's -2.
It would be -2.
Yeah, because I want to see what the results, right? I mean, we're moving to like epilogue now, right? So like
We are.
that would help with a
I want to see
large
on
overview thing.
screen. I'm sharing screen.
Nervous to hit enter. Okay.
Oh, but at least it's not the 3-.
It's not a 3-.
which is
Honestly, that's all
really
I was going for. It was not a 3-.
On a 4 to 6, you try but fail, finding your goal just beyond your grasp. Describe what happens, what becomes of the character after this. What about their family, friends, and enemies?
I mean, I don't think I can answer that yet.
Okay, cool. I think that's fair. All right, so we will move on. Allie, do you wish to roll your payoff move with 3 drive checks?
Absolutely. 2d6 -1.
2d6 -1, and you don't do the -1, so we will do the math ourselves. That appears to be a fail.
That is a
That
fail.
appears to be a 3,
That is
actually, because of
indeed
the
a 3.
-1. Okay.
Oh my god.
Do you have per the move on a 3-, you fail and make things worse for your whole team. Describe how things went so wrong and what becomes of your hunter. All other characters must cross off 1 drive box. It's not a checked one. It's you cross at the end. It means it's 1 less box that you could fill, representing time and resources wasted in the fallout from your character's failure. I feel like that is going to lead us off into the great beyond. How do you think that goes?
I mean, well, it might be better if you just make sure everybody else has rolled the dice
You bet.
before I do anything unpleasant to everyone.
Jody, you have 4 drive track. You get to roll flat. Do you wish to roll or do you want to forestall?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll. Let me see how that looks.
Move, mouse. Okay.
We're good.
Sorry, my mouse wasn't reacting to me, and I'm like, do it.
That is
Oh
a 4.
my god.
Yeah. Oh no, that's a 5. Okay.
It's a 5.
times.
Yes, that makes a difference. In no
Okay.
way, shape, or form, he says. Sadly. Okay, so that's just a straight up fail. Try but fail. Find your goal beyond your grasp. What becomes of the character? What about their family, friends, and enemies? Okay. And then Chalks, you are the last. And you have 2
2.
Do you wish
So
to
I'm rolling
roll?
flat.
You're rolling.
I'm sorry,
you're
rolling
choosing
-2. Rolling -2.
Yeah, you would be rolling -2. Do you choose to roll?
Oh yeah, here we go.
Delightful. Oh,
Not
Oh.
quite a 3.
not quite a 3. Woo! A 4. Another try but fail. So,
Oh my
as a
God.
reminder, this is hashtag worst ending. As a reminder, drives. Prove to your family you can be redeemed for your failures. Jody, free the enslaved beings in the fighting arena. Allie, understand meat beings and their stress and the need to dominate droid kind, but also we can fold in the droid rebellion. And then Tian, prove her methods are the finest in the galaxy. Your best to fulfill your wishes and the desires of that miss, but also be mindful to try not to encroach into other folks' miseries and their misfortunes. Oh, gracious.
So a lot of my description depends on what, like, some of Kin's desire. Like, what does Kin do? We were gonna shoot, and like, is Kin on the yes, I'm with you? Jody and Tian were attacking, or like, actually, I want to be this guy's apprentice now.
Yeah, what is your
I was
choice?
gonna say, I think, oh God, I was gonna say mine kind of depends on what Tiana and Jody do.
But Tian's waiting for you, so you.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, it is. We're shooting at the Inquisitor, right? Like, we have no chance against this dude unless you decide I'm gonna help you, and like, we're not gonna be able to kill him, but you could push him away. But if you decide, actually, guys, I need to go do this, then you could force us away and walk off with your new mentor.
Kissy mentor. All right, not really, but maybe, but not, probably not.
And
No
either
problem.
situation gives me great opportunities to fail, so I don't care which way it goes.
Do we want to hear what happens with Allie's rebellion first?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm marinating on a question, but yeah, let's hear Allie's rebellion first, if that's okay.
Well, clearly the rebellion goes very badly. And I think that perhaps the way this complicates things for the team as a whole is Zinj clamps down on the spaceport. And so I think we see, Zinj's troop transports landing, large numbers of stormtroopers marching off. And then I think inevitably we see AL-1N and several other droids being marched towards the transport.
With the expectation of them being mind wiped, right? Yeah. Oh my. That's a hashtag worst failure. Let's see. Before Kin's decision, Chalks, do you think you could give us a piece of your?
Yeah, so Trox is barreling down that hallway, and true to form, Vermeil has set a trap, and there's a flash of white light, and Trox loses a memory for a good period of time, awaking on a cartel slave barge, with Vermeil walking above in the grates above, and passes like a little food stick down to him, and smiles and says, that I'm trying to find one of who was our smiles and says, this time if you fail me, Chalks, it will be all of your friends who go down.
Dang.
So, oh man, so Chalks gets like taken by. Oh wow.
Yeah, and I think it's I think he doesn't believe Vermeil, but then like through the grate on another cell, he sees Mawa, the smuggler, is also in the just to not ruin anybody else's thing, but a character that we love.
Oh man. Poor Mawa. Mawa's I distinctly blame you for this, Chalks. Cool. Steve, what about for Jody?
So I failed finding my goal just beyond my grasp. And
Mhm.
my goal was to free the enslaved beings in the fighting arena. I think what happens here regarding that, at least, is that I think what we see is Zinj and Spaceport Trident Vespa have outlawed droids. They don't allow droids here. So they aren't allowed in the fighting arena either. But because of that, there's more and more people, other species that have been enslaved to do that work. And I think so. I've got a little bit more of an epilogue for Jody, which
Yeah.
isn't quite as much of a downer. I'm like 1 XP away, but there's a move that lets me add a tag to one of my items, and the tag I want to add is a disguise module that droids have, like what Proxy in one of the video games had, something like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if I can describe that a little bit, I think what that looks like is we see Hop, the cyborg that was in the hallway. We see Hop. He's one of the guards escorting AO1 in and the other droids onto the transport.
Ooh.
And that is, I think on screen what we see is, Jody comes out of the building, becomes Hop with this like shimmer of the hologram thing, and then follows along and escorts them onto the transport.
Neat. Now we circle back to Kin.
Yeah,
Accept
so
Inquisitor Savik's delightful offer.
I think Kin places himself between Sapphic and Tian. And he asks he's asked a question to Sapphic, but his eyes he's like making eye contact with Tian, like holding her gaze. Can you promise me if I go with you, these hallucinations that have hurt my friends will no longer come to bear on them?
You have my word.
I shouldn't have waited so long to do this. And we see like a couple of steps, because you gotta, from Kin to Tian. And I think he kisses her. But
Drop my rifle.
yeah, you drop the rifle, he kisses her. And then with the Force, he knocks you out.
Love him and leave him, Ken.
And you just like hear, I think, as you're fading, like the kiss ends, and as like maybe Tian's like, let me know if you're not okay with any of this. Coming in, he's like, we'll meet again when I'm safe for you.
I think that works quite well, in that I have failed to do everything that I intended to do, but it really was close, wasn't it?
It was.
It's right there.
Within your grasp.
And I think to just kind of tie it in explicitly was like, I think my methods have been really good. Like they've worked for a lot of things until you meet someone that's just straight up more powerful than you. And there were two of them here, and I'm unconscious on the floor.
It's all true.
Yeah.
Does that resolve, I think, everyone's payoff? Or complete and utter lack of, I guess it is a kind of payoff. It's just hashtag worst payoff.
Hashtag worst payoff. Hashtag we all suffer.
Yes, you all suffer. And then Kin goes with Inquisitor Savick, right?
Yeah, I think so. He you know, he's too much of a risk. I think we get this moment of like Chalks getting carried like in the hallway, like getting carried, and like Kid walking with Sapphic like a step behind, eyes downcast, but Chalks's eyes and Kin's eyes meet as they both realize they've both like been taken into a level of servitude. Like that father-son sort of.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. Spaceport tried the best, but is worse off for having known you guys. The droid rebellion is thoroughly squashed. There is a glimmer of hope that Jody might be able to make things a little better.
Oh,
We had a
Jody.
glimmer earlier, and it didn't quite work out then. So we'll see.
I'm not sure about that, but there were all the droids that got away with their weapons with Ali's sacrifice.
There are those who got away, and they're at other parts of around outside of the spaceport. They've left the port. Like, okay, let's leave. Too many stormtroopers. Sweet. That will bring the session to a close. We're at time. If anyone wants to stick around to throw out a few stars to finish things off, feel free. If anyone needs to go,
I have to be away. Great time. Really nice to play with you all. Several of you first time. One for the first time in a long time. Have a good one, but I've got to go. Dinner waits.
understood.
Cheers,
Thank
guys.
you, Alan,
Thanks,
for
Alan.
playing.
Thanks, Alan.
Dylan.
So, who'd like to kick off with a few stars since you're still here? I assume that's what you want.
How dare you all give me feelings?
I'll start because I probably need to head out soon as well. No, I really enjoyed the whole session. I always love the payoff move at the end. Even when it goes poorly, it goes well. And I loved the tense scene that we had there at the end. I loved Vermeil showing up. I love that. I believe that may have been the third or fourth time that Hop Galadio has actually died. Hop Galadio's been in a lot of Star Wars Saturdays and usually ends up dead. So at least we were consistent. Dead or blown up or thrown in prison. It never ends well for Hop.
No.
Yes, Vermeil being a slightly cowboyish, which I did poorly there at the end, but
Oh, you're
no,
fine.
really loved the whole thing. I loved the tension with Tian and Kin at the end, and I loved the scene that I got with Tian. I loved Jody just slitting Hop's throat. So it was great.
Wow, that throat
Old.
slit. That was so good. I really did not see it coming. That was great. Cool. Thank you very much. Who'd like to go next?
So I'm going to start with a wish, to end on stars. So I wish, well, other than playing more, I wish that we had. I wish that I'd been able to get that last little XP because I had plans. I'm like, what XP am I just need that. So that was the one thing I was like, I really want that. On the other side, for stars, I really enjoyed all of the scenes with Ken interacting with the Inquisitor and with Tian, and that was just, wonderful. It was so beautiful. I liked all of Alan's machinations with the droid bar and the Imperials and all that stuff going on. But I have to say, one of my favorite things for the recording. Right now, we're in the middle of a strike with the actors and Writers Guild and all that kind of stuff. And I like that we ended all of this stuff kind of on a cliffhanger. Still got to do epilogues and payoff, but it's kind of a cliffhanger because we want to see it all come back and we want that story finished, just like a lot of other things that we're seeing in real, in media right now.
It's
so that
true.
was one of my favorites.
All the finish, please.
Yeah.
Please settle this. Oh. Great. Thank you, Stephen. All right. Any more stars out there?
I mean, it's just kind of a blanket, right? Like it's not picking out anything in particular. Although I will say, you did a very good job weaving everything together. There were a lot of
Thank you.
threads. It was kind of hard to follow for me. I mean, with 6 players all having their things, getting that much to intersect at the end was threading the eye of the needle, and it was very satisfying. And just the feeling emotions and thinking about. I think that's the best end of a run is when you're like, well, what happens to them next? Like, oh, does Chucks get out? What's Jody's going on the ship to Skies? Oh my God, Kid is a apprentice to like a Sith. What is happening? Yeah. So like I guess kind of like Steven saying, I want to see more.
Man, yeah, absolute banger stars. Already mentioned, but deserves mentioning again. It's I think in a million worlds would I've never guessed that Jody's response like, is this okay? Oh, like, oh, Jody's gonna heal. Hop. Jody slits his throat. It's like fucking so good. Like, not even she just leaves him. She slits his throat straight up, throws him down a garbage chute, like mafiosa, destroying the evidence. So good. I love Mom Jody. I love Mom Jody protecting her kids. Sadness that everyone has sort of almost been separated to the 4 winds, so to speak. Star to Tian, despite being the one to call him in and the bounty being like, nope, never mind, take this measly money back, I want Kin. What a great moment. Chalks just losing it, but having the wherewithal to be like, Jody, you gotta do the thing, I gotta handle this. So good. Like that still like, I know I have to handle this for myself, but the dad instincts there. And then Allie, the absolute chaos agent, just calling in the
Weird aunt.
Just like additional, just straight up weird aunt trying to send her nephew to military school. Just yeah, it was so good. Rich, I mentioned Vermeil's voice, but also the complete embodiment that you had as the Inquisitor. Like your face fucking shifted, like how you like, and your look and your eyes. I was like, is this Rich? Like it was so good. Like 12 million stars.
Oh, you guys were top notch. It was hectic running for 5 and 6 players, but I wouldn't switch for anything because I loved all your characters and I love playing with you guys so much. This was great. I'm glad that we were able to work and stuff. I appreciate everybody, even though the payoff move didn't have enough checks for anybody to have much of a chance.
So
You're
funny,
like,
they all
only forge
failed.
ahead. So bold. I appreciate that.
I want to point out a couple of things. One is the 3 of the characters are potentially together. Alan and Jody are both on the transport, and Ken could be there, right, with the Inquisitor. So I think part of the group is kind of there. And the other thing was, I'm stealing the, during the intro, it was like, what's your family role in this process? That really tied everything together. That's like better than Bonds, right?
It was a stroke of genius. It's so good. You're right. It's very evolutionary to Bonds, and it's like it gets at the heart of it. It's cool. What a great way to communicate, and that arose from like it was Kay's idea, but arose from the team playbook of you guys choosing the family. So it was everybody was all in on it already. So it was so easy to just, oh yeah, I'll define my role in the family. It was great.
On that with the team playbook, I was looking at. I'm very glad we chose family for that very reason. Some of the other ones, I'm not sure would elicit that same sort of thought, right? Like the clan is definitely that's a relationship that they can all have together. And secret mission, I can see that being one, but like I'm not sure what Hearts of Gold. I'm not sure how that bonds together a team. So
Hearts of Gold to me is like the lazy default,
Right. But yeah, I don't know. I would just take a second pass at it. Because I love the family, and it's probably what I would choose, no matter what. But just a second look at it, because I think that led to some really good play. So some of the other ones I think just might not get there, or could take a little revise. What is hard
Yeah.
to
Yeah, I
pull.
think that's a good suggestion.
I love that we talked about the team playbook, because that was one of the new things introduced. One of them is under big business, it could be what's your role in the business, and you can make these questions more explicit so that it says what's your what family role do you fall into, what role do you have in the business, and that kind of stuff. What's your role in the clan, and give are you chief, are you shaman, that kind of stuff. Because I think you'd end up with some fantastic answers. Yeah. I really like that.
Yeah, it's the big business one makes me think a little bit about one of the things I enjoyed about the more recent iterations of Swoop Gang, where there are actual defined club rankings and duties. So, like, one person chose chaplain one time, and that was just like they were all super into it. And this was more informal and just a little stroke of genius from Kay to go, like, which family member are you? And it worked well. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I gotta head out.
He'd already said
Okay.
he had to go. Anyway, I'll let you guys go. Thank you so much.